And live. Yay! Hello, hello. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope you're well over here on Instagram as well. Yeah, final live of the week. Been here all week, Monday and Wednesday, and now Friday. And yeah, today kind of wraps everything up of the week in terms of what we've talked about. We've talked about you don't need more stuff to learn a language. You have enough stuff. You don't need more time. It's just about being smart with the time that you have and that we all have. And today, I want to talk to you because maybe you've heard me talking this week and you've been thinking about applying to work with me in 2021, and maybe you've been holding back a little bit, right? You've been thinking, yeah, but I'm probably too far along, or maybe I'm too much of a beginner, right? And there's something, wherever you're at that you're thinking, maybe it's not for me. Well, today I want to assure you that Language Life and what we're going to talk about and what I have to share with you today, this idea of the kind of essence of what Language Life is valid across the board, whatever your current ability in the language or languages that you're learning. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, let me do all the tapping for the waving. But first, I want to remind you, if you haven't yet applied, you can still do so. This is the last couple of days. I'll be live. I'll be live on Monday. This Monday coming, for those people that have applied and that have been accepted, and we'll be doing a private training just for those people. So if you're curious, if you want to learn more about this and you want to work with me in 2021, then do apply now. It's lindsaydoeslanguages.com/apply. This is the final few days to do so, to join for the first ever time of Language Life and to be there from the very, very beginning as we start 2021. Okay, so lindsaydoeslanguages.com/apply. And let's get into what we're going to cover today. So this thing then, maybe you've seen the title of the video, right? Why any and every language learner, what any and every language learner needs to do right now. And number one, that thing is learning how to learn, right? Now, like I said, all week we've been talking about resources and, time and all of that stuff. You don't need more stuff. This is like the underlying message of everything this week. You don't need more stuff. You need to think, okay, let's get smart with this. Let's get strategic here. How do I actually use this stuff? How do I learn a language? And, you've been led to believe for way too long now that it's about that it's about the resources you're using, and that it's about, the fact that you are not doing enough immersion, or, you're not doing enough of this, or you're doing too much of that, and, or that you're doing too much vocab, right? Basically, what we've been told for far too long is that it's our fault we're not learning a language as well as we want to, because we're the ones doing everything wrong, right? Not true. Not true at all. Because the fact of the matter is, we're not giving enough essence, we're not giving enough effort to learning how to learn. So it's not your fault, because it's just not there. I've just, in fact, submitting it this weekend, just finished my first essay for my master's. And it was about looking at language learning textbooks across a lot of years. The first one was 1939 when that was published. And it's very much any capable adult can pick up this book and learn a language. If they can't, very kind of that attitude, it's your fault. I've seen this. I have just come out of studying this whole essay and writing this whole assignment on this. That is not the approach. That it's not your fault, right? So if you've ever felt you kind of start the new textbook, page 1, chapter 1, and then you're just expected to know how to do this thing. No, right? You've got to give some time to that. So don't feel like this is your fault if you've ever felt discouraged by your progress. You felt like you wanted to make better progress, faster progress, whatever that looks like, whatever that means to you, and you haven't. Not your fault. So Okay, you're probably then thinking, well, I'm too far gone. It's too late to start now, right? Okay, let me put it to you this way. Imagine that you are in a boat and it's filling with water, right? From holes that other people put there. Because remember, not your fault. You didn't put these holes in the boat. The holes were there. Other people put these holes in the boat from the start, right? Are you just going to sit there and go, oh, well, it is how it is. I guess I'm just going to drown? Or are you going to actually try and plug those holes? You're going to try and plug the holes, right? You're not going to just wait for the sinking boat to fall down. You're going to do what you can because, right, it's not your fault, but you are the one that can make the change here. Okay. So it is not too late, right? And ask yourself, what would you do if you knew that language that you're learning fluently, or if you knew how to learn a language, which meant that you could easily start learning that second, third, fourth, fifth language that you've been wanting to learn for so long, but have been holding back because you've been telling yourself, well, I need to finish this one first, or, I don't know how to learn, so I guess I'll just focus and stick with what I'm doing. Have you ever told yourself that? Because like no, just forget all of that. That is nonsense, right? We're going to plug those holes. It's not too late to do that. And if you're thinking, oh, maybe actually for me, I'm too new to this. It's too early for me in my language learning journey to even think about learning how to learn, right? This is kind of advanced. It's going to be too technical for me. I'll wait until I'm A2. I'll wait until I'm C1. I'll wait until I'm fluent with these things. What does fluent even mean, right? No, it's not too early either. In fact, the earlier that you start this, the better, because you are going to be giving yourself the chance to continually get better, to continually make better progress as you get better at the process of language learning, right? So it's not too late. Those holes in your boat, your little language boat, were put there by other people, right? Not by you. And it's time for you to say, okay, screw this. I'm going to plug this boat. I'm going to fix these holes and I'm going to make this change. Or if you're at the beginning, right? Don't let your boat get filled up with water. Start now and make that change rather, so that you can be steering the thing, right? I've gone really far with this boat, but I'm taking it. It's all good. It's all good. There's a question here. Is there a point to learning a language later in life if you have that sinking feeling that you're never going to be native level fluent in target language? 100% yes. Okay. I think, or maybe I haven't said this because I've been working on the presentation for Monday. I think this is in the presentation. Yeah, this is in the presentation on Monday. I haven't said this week. Basically, you are never too old to learn a language, right? So in terms of learning how to learn, and I've been saying today, it's never too late, or, it's never too early. This same idea of it not being too late also applies when it comes to feeling like I want to start, but am I too old? There's this myth, right? Kids learn better than adults. Not true, right? There are two things that kids do easier. I'm not even going to say better, right? But just easier than adults when it comes to language learning. Number one is a native accent. And number two is not having that kind of anxiety around making mistakes. And so they just go for it and try the thing. But when you know that they're the two things that children do better, then actually you can work on improving those things. And it's not just a case of, there's those two things they do better. Everything else, I guess I'm okay. You've got advantages being an adult. The older you are, the more experience that you have, the more experience you have with language, with your language. That stuff can be applied to learning any other language, right? It's not a case of, well, this is the age, this is the cutoff. No, no, right? So when you know that, okay, accent. Number one, does it even matter if you have a native accent? Does that, right? Is that important? Really, really, really? No. Your accent, your way of speaking, your idiolect, if you like, right? Your individual, I love that word, idiolect, is your individual way of speaking, your unique individual accent It's your linguistic DNA, right? It's your, like, I've grown up here and the way that I speak is related to that. But the places I've been and the people that I've spoken to and all of this has influenced that uniquely compared to my next door neighbor or compared to the person that my family or whatever, right? All of that stuff, you have your unique accent. It is your linguistic DNA. It is who you are, right? And don't let anyone tell you otherwise, that you need to have this type of accent or, accent, you've got to get a perfect accent. That's absolute just nonsense. Okay. So that's the first thing that children do better, acquire a native accent. What does that even matter? Right? Doesn't matter. The second thing, this idea of them having less anxiety around just going for it and speaking and using the language. Well, when you know that, we can build upon that. And that is something that we do a lot in Language Life. That's something that we'll be doing a lot together. If you apply to work with me, lindsaydoeslanguages.com/apply, and we're working together in 2021, we're going to be doing that a lot, building the confidence, right? And if you've seen the page, you'll see that it's part of the framework that we're going to be working with is language confidence, because it is so, so important. One of my students is 64 years old. She got her B1 certificate last month and now wants to get to B2 in the next 2 years, slowly but surely. Oh, my life, that's amazing. I love that so much. I think there was something else here. The accent issue stresses me out on my life, doesn't it? Just it doesn't matter. When you meet someone and maybe they're your native language isn't their native language, and you hear them speak and they have an accent, right? And you think interesting. That's intriguing. I want to know more about you. What's your story? Where are you from? How did you learn this language? That's what we should be going for here, rather than native RP English perfection. Right? Nonsense. Throw it out. So no, you're not too old. Like I said, this is in the training we'll be talking about on Monday. So if you've just joined, you can apply to work with me in 2021. It's going to be amazing. We're going to spend a whole year together in Language Life. And on Monday, I'm hosting a private live training for those people that apply to work with me. And I'll be sharing the full details of the program, everything that you need to know. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, I think that's it for today. I feel like we've had a bit of a rant with that about accents and stuff and age. Never too old. Accents don't matter. Keep learning that language is the bottom line here, I think, today. So yeah, that is it. I'm going to just hop over here. Let me see. Oh, there's some stuff. Some questions. Yes, my accent's British. I didn't respond because I didn't have this tab open. Yes, you can learn multiple languages at once. No. Learning more than one language at the same time is a very bad idea. It will slow down your progress and confuse you. No. Right. Okay. I've spent most of my language learning more than one language, right? This happened not by choice initially, because I picked that I wanted to learn Spanish in school, and my school said to learn Spanish, you have to keep doing French. And I said, okay, whatever, it's fine. And I did that, right? So I've always had this experience of learning more than one language at once, rather than sometimes in terms of confusing, sometimes, yeah, you might mix up a word or two. It's not the end of the world, right? And it actually, more so than confuses me, it helps me, because I could then see, as I was learning Spanish for the first time, I could see these patterns from learning French. And as I continued to learn French, these things kind of coincided, and it was side by side, and it was amazing. So yeah, you can learn more than one language at once. I'm giving you permission for that as well today, okay? How to change thinking in another language. You can't think English and speak French. Yeah, thinking's an interesting one. It's something that in the beginning you're going to want to be really conscious of, as you think okay, I want to think in this language. I want to get better at talking to myself in this language, essentially, is what it is. It's going to be a real conscious thing. And then gradually it will happen more spontaneously, but it's going to be a long process to do that. But like I say, at the beginning, you're going to be aware if that's like a goal that you want to have, but it can be a really helpful thing to do. Squeezing more out of a single resource is an amazing idea. Yes, absolutely. Like, just keep doing that. You don't need more stuff. You have what you have. Use that and make the most of those things that you do have. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Right. So that is it for today. Like I said, you want to work with me in 2021, you can apply now. It's going to be amazing. We're going to spend a whole year together in Language Life, and I cannot wait to share the full details of everything with you on Monday. This is the final live of this week. Yeah, I think that's everything. I'm gonna leave you now to have to enjoy the rest of your weekend. To enjoy, well, Friday, is it weekend for some people already? I don't know. To enjoy the rest of your Friday and then enjoy your weekend. And then to those of you who have applied already or who are applying now, I will see you on Monday. And yeah, that is it. Let me grab the little button so I can end at the same time on Instagram and on the computer. And I will see you very soon. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for watching. If